M. Sturgos asks you, John Fund, if voter fraud is as rampant as you believe, why didn't the Bush administration uncover more evidence of it over their 5-year investigation?
Because the Constitution gives the power to control elections to the states and the counties. There are 3,031 counties in America. Almost all voter fraud prosecutions are at the county level. The federal government has almost nothing to do with them, except like Chicago,
but they did.
where the conspiracy was so vast there were 100,000 fraudulent votes that were proven.
And that's a Department of Justice issue. So why?
No, that one was. But the vast majority of prosecutions are at the county level.
The Bush administration did do a study, and they didn't find any.
No.
Yeah.
No. The studies show state and federal prosecutions. There are a lot at the county level, and especially, I agree, look, absentee ballot fraud is a lot worse than impersonation fraud, but we will never know, and the Supreme Court and the Court of Appeals have said this, we will never know how much there is until we actually take steps to see.
Let me ask you a related question. This could happen this year. What if Romney won the popular vote and Obama won the electoral vote?
It wouldn't be the first time.
Right, but don't you think it would, since it would be like the 5th time it's happened in American history, don't you think it would be a good prompting to get rid of the stupid electoral college system?
You can't do it. You can't do it. The only way to do it is to change the Constitution.
Actually, it's
and there are 12 states that can block that. 13 states, actually, that can block that.
Yes.
The 13 smallest states would always oppose it. You can't get it done. You might as well move on to something that you actually can get done.
On that point, I agree with him.
See?
Yeah.
And
that's a shame because it's a real fucked up system.
About the voter ID, as again a Republican, I think we should pay for those voter IDs. There's no question. The Supreme Court said that. Make them free.
I'm for making them free. If they're free, I'm with it.
Okay. All right. Let's get it done.
But they ain't free.
Let's get it. They are free.
Okay, Boris. Somebody asked you, what was it about Mitt Romney that made you so certain he would be the GOP nominee a year ago? I knew it 2 years ago. I kept saying.
Well, you know, if you look at the history of GOP elections, going back to '76,
right?
The second in line,
Your
usually wins.
turn.
There was one exception to that, and the reason it isn't because the voters get familiar with you. It's the backers. The backers last time around, they maybe chose Mitt Romney, but Mitt Romney, they chose McCain, but Mitt Romney lobbied him really hard. So Romney lobbied those people hard, and they said, you know what, last time around, no, wait, we went McCain, because McCain lobbied us hard in 2000.
Sometimes it takes 8 years.
And how it goes. It went Reagan-Ford, then it went Reagan-HW, then it was HW, and then you had George W., and McCain was behind him.
And the Democrats, I bet Hillary's going to be the nominee in 2016.
The fact that the other candidates people like Herman Cain and Michelle Bachmann have anything to do with it. I mean, the total incompetence of everybody else. Seems like it had to play a role.
We also had Newt Gingrich, who was a competent candidate.
Right.
And we had Tim Pawlenty, who was a competent candidate.
Well, Newt Gingrich
had
a lot of baggage.
This is not only that I think he was going to be the candidate. A year ago, I thought he was the best candidate. I actually started out supporting Pawlenty early, in '09. But then
Tim Pawlenty.
Yes, as the time went on,
he's not a food. He's a man. What do you? Pawlenty. Yeah.
That's what I said. Pawlenty. I'm Russian. Will you let it go? But then as time went on, you looked at all the candidates. I think Romney definitely was the best one, and he's proving it. Right? He's 18 days out. It's close.
It's close, but it was always going to be close. I mean, the Republican has
because the economy is in the tank.
Not because that's first of all, it's not in the tank.
No.
Second of all,
completely polarized electorate on one side of it is always going to support the candidate.
Because Romney has such an incredibly high fucking lead in the American South. Because this map today looks almost exactly like the post-Civil War map, in the mid-60s.
There's at least
it also looks like the 1992 map.
But there's at least 25 states where no matter who the Republican was, it doesn't matter. Paul Pot could be the candidate, and they would vote for him.
No, actually, he was a communist.
Is North Carolina one of those states?
What?
It was
North Carolina. North Carolina's in the South. That's south of Mason-Dixon line, right?
Absolutely. Mitt Romney's going to win it.
North Carolina went to Obama last time. Did you not like that?
That was
he's saying that there are certain states
in Florida.
There are certain states that are going to go right, but New York. What about this state?
Utah, Wyoming. I could name all the all the slave states.
But there's also New York.
That is exactly
they're always going to go left.
And that was the very same map then. This is the same Goldwater coalition that strung together the American South with the outlier West piece, and that's how it works out.
Goldwater got destroyed in 1964.
Yeah, Mitt Romney's going to get destroyed next week.
Well, first of all, election's not next
He's not going to get destroyed.
That's the bubble.
I would love if Democrats
You're
start
right.
that.
No, it isn't because
Keep thinking that.
That's the liberal bubble.
Yeah.
Come on,
Keep thinking that.
Goldie, he is not going to get destroyed.
No,
If anything, he's going to get squeaked by.
If anything in the world happens, Mitt Romney may win the popular vote because of the high turnout that will happen in red states. But yeah,
Well, that's
actually,
not
I
getting
have
destroyed.
looked.
You'd
Actually,
have to-
I have looked at the map. But when I say destroyed, I mean the Electoral College. I mean, I think Barack Obama's going to hit 300 electoral votes. I believe it.
Maybe you're smoking the weed that he paid $1 million for.
I think he's going to take Ohio. I think he's going to take Wisconsin. I think he's going to take Iowa, and that means game over.
You're actually wrong. If that happens, hold on, can I talk for a second?
He's already lost.
Hold on, you just made a point. Can I make a point?
And if you believe.
I'm like Mitt Romney. Can I have extra time?
Yeah, well, you know, that's what.
If Romney takes Nevada, Colorado, North Carolina, and Virginia, and loses all the ones you said, plus tax on New Hampshire, which he's even in, Romney wins.
He won't take Colorado.
Say that again. If he wins which one?
If he wins North Carolina, which he probably will,
Yep.
Virginia, which it looks good in,
Looks good.
Colorado looks good, Nevada looks good, and New Hampshire looks good, and Florida, he wins.
He could lose Ohio.
If he wins
He
all
lose
50
Ohio.
states, he'll probably
He
do pretty well.
Right. I mean, my wife said that earlier.
This is a very
Actually, he could run that.
possible-
He
I looked at the map
He could
2
run.
hours ago. That's for sure.
He could run that
That's a
entire.
v-
He could run that entire board and still
No, but that
lose.
he could. That. Wait a second. That is very possible. What he just said. I don't know if it's true because I haven't looked at the map. But I'll take your word for it.
I don't think it's.
And-
Because
Andy-
they always say if you don't win Ohio as a Republican, you can't win. But you're saying
But
this
you know-
is the
You
way
can lose
Pencil-
Ohio because you also have Iowa in play. You have Wisconsin.
Pennsylvania,
Iowa
Romney's
and
ahead
Wisconsin are not in
now.
play.
Because remember, Obama did
Where?
Pennsylvania. He's
Pennsylvania's in
ahead
play.
now,
Pennsylvania's
Romney.
not in play.
Because Susquehanna
Internal
poll, which was the best predictor of the 2008 numbers. Pennsylvania, remember, it's Pittsburgh, Philadelphia, and Alabama in the middle.
Right.
Obama dissed Pennsylvania in
Right.
2008 by saying these are filled with towns, the state, where they cling to their guns and religion.
That's
They
what
have
he was
not
talking
forgotten that.
Yeah.
They have not forgotten.
exactly.
It's going to be
That's not
really
exactly
close.
what he said.
I cannot believe you
Right.
can dispute that. It's going to be really close. And
Our elections are always
And by the way,
close,
when he said
last
they
time around, we
cling,
lost by 5
Oh,
points.
Obama won a landslide.
when he said they
but I mean,
cling
that's
to their
about the-
guns and
that's
their
about the
Bibles, he
range.
was so way off.
Reagan crushed my dad.
Boy, was he wrong about that. All right, thank you, everybody. We got to go. Pizza!
Real Time with Bill Maher, Friday night at 10. Ask Bill and his guests your questions right after the show at HBO.com.